So on number 1, you need to find the missing length. And the rule is that the two small parts, so this and this equal the big part. So you would put x, always change the question mark to x, plus 7 equals 19. And when you subtract 7 from both sides, you get that x equals 12. The next one, the same thing. The two small parts equal the big part. So x plus 1 equals 8. X equals 7. Number 3 would be 4 plus x equals 16. X equals 12. These are quite easy. And the last one would be 11 plus x equals 23. X equals 12. Okay, so on the first one, we still have the two little pieces, 2x plus 29 plus the little piece 3 equals the big piece. And we move this x over to the left, and we get negative x on both sides, and we get x plus, and I'm going to go ahead and add those two together. 29 plus 3 is 32 equals 21. And when I subtract 32 from both sides, I get that x equals negative 11. Answers can be negative. Now, on the next one, I see that the 4x is bigger than the 2x. So I'm going to put that on the left side. It just makes it easier so the x stays on the left. So I'm going to do 4x, the big piece, equals the sum of the two pieces, which is 2x minus 5 plus 9. So 4x minus 2 equals 2x plus 4. And when I move the 2x over, I subtract minus 2x. And I get 2x minus equals 4. And so then I add 2 to both sides, and I get 2x equals 6 when I add 2 to both sides. And x equals 3. So the next one has the two little pieces. The rules do not change. The problems just are different. You have to look at each one. So here all the x's are on the left side of the equation. 2x minus 13. Those are the two little pieces, equals 13. And I'm going to combine what I can. X plus 2x is 3x, and minus 10 and minus 13 is minus 23. So 3x equals, we're going to add 23 to this side, so that's 36. So x equals 12. But this problem is asking, what is VW? So now I have to go back to VW, and I have to say, I have to plug in that 12. So I say 2 times 12 minus 13, which is 24 minus 13, which is 11. So VW equals 11 is the final answer. You have to answer the question. On number 8, we get that 6 plus 2x minus 2 equals 5x minus 2. So since the bigger f is on the right, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides to move that x over there. And I get that 6 minus 2 we know is 4. The x's bite the dust over there, equals 3x minus 2. And I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So 3x equals 6, and x equals 2. But they want QR, and QR is that 2x minus 2 guy. So we're going to take 2, put in the x, minus 2. We have to plug it in, and that equals QR equals 4 minus 2, which is 2. So we know that the first point is going to be x1, y1, and the second point is going to be x2, y2. And we have the square root of the difference of the x's, so that's 8 minus negative 5 squared, plus the difference of the y's, negative 3 minus 3 squared. And we get that 8 minus negative 5 is 13, and 13 squared is 169, and negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6, and negative 6 squared is 36. Remember to put the negative numbers in parentheses before you square them, because you're always going to get a positive number there. So that's going to be the square root of 205, which is 14, and they want it to the nearest tenth, 0.3. So that is your answer. So the next one, we're going to also do x1, y1, x2, y2, and it's going to be the square root of negative 3 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus negative 5 squared, which is the square root of, and put a square here, of 9 plus 49, which is the square root of 58. So that when you square root 58, you get that it's 7.6 rounded to the nearest tenth. Now the next one is a graph, so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a triangle from one point to the other. And now we have two sides of the triangle. We have the hypotenuse is the distance. So we know if we count these blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is on that side. We can do the Pythagorean theorem, which is 8 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. That's 64 plus 81 equals c squared, which is the square root of 145, which rounded to the nearest tenth is 12, because it's 12.04 and it does not go up at all, so it's 12. The next one we do the same way. We draw so the next one, when we draw our triangle, we get that this is 3 blocks up here, and this is 4. So we have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. 9 plus 16 equals c squared. 25 equals c squared. 9 plus 16. When we square root 25, we get that c equals 25. So the distance, c equals 5, square root of 25. So the distance between those 2 points is 5. So to find the midpoint, you really are finding the average of the x's and average of the y's. And to find the average of two numbers, you add them together and divide by 2. The formula is above. So we do as before. That's x1, y1, x2, y2. And you add the x's, and you divide by 2. And then you add the y's and divide by 2. So the first point is going to be 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. And the second point is going to be negative 12 divided by 2, which is negative 6. So that would be your midpoint. The next one is the same. We find the average of the x's, so negative 5 plus 2 divided by 2, and 1 plus negative 6 divided by 2. So that would be negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3, divided by 2 is negative 1.5. And 1 minus 6 is negative 5, and divided by 2 is negative 2.5. And you can also say negative 1.5 and minus 2.5. The next one, they give you the midpoint, so they're giving you the answer, and this one is a little bit harder, so just pay attention. So I always put the other endpoint as x2, y2, or plain x and y. And in order to get that first 8, which is the answer, as if you were doing the other two, you would do 7 plus that x2 divided by 2 equals 8. And this takes a little bit longer. You just cross multiply, and you get 7 plus x2 equals 16 when you cross multiply. And you get that x2 equals 9. So the first part of the answer is going to be a 9. Let's find what the y's are. So now you take your y, negative 5 plus y2 divided by 2 equals negative 8. So negative 5 plus y2 equals negative 16. And when we add 5 to negative 16, we get y2 equals negative 11. So your answer should be 9, negative 11. Same thing here. We're going to put an x, y there. And you take the endpoint, so 7 plus x divided by 2 equals your first number. And 7 plus x equals negative 6 when you cross multiply. And x equals negative 13. And with the y's, you do negative 4 plus y divided by 2 equals negative 4. Cross multiply and you get negative 4 plus y equals negative 8. When you add 4 to negative 8, you get y equals negative 4. So your answer should be negative 13, negative 4.